All right. Well, my name's Jonah Winter. I'm the program recruiter here at Heartland Welding Academy, and I'm here with Alex. He's a former student of ours, and we're going to ask a few questions. So, kind of what sparked your interest in welding?
I took an interest to welding because I've been in the industry of industrial construction since I was 18 years old, and I wanted to be able to kind of be a jack of all trades. Because before I used to do scaffolding, insulation, and pretty much general labor work in the industry. And seeing welding, seeing whether it was stick, TIG, MIG, or any kind of process, it left me in the unknown, and I wanted to be able to at least know I had the general idea of how to do that, is do welding.
Just being around it and everything, seeing it all the time. Wanted to know a little bit more about it. So, after you graduated here, what did you hit the road after that right away, or did you work a little bit locally and then?
No, I think as soon as I knew I had about a week or two left, I started looking for work. And by the time I was done with school, I already had something lined up in Pasadena, Texas, with a company called Repcon. And I went there, about a 10-hour drive, and they had 3 weld tests ready for me as soon as I got there at a Maverick testing facility in Pasadena for a petrochemical company, I think it was. And I feel like with that experience, I bit off a little bit more than I can chew coming straight out of a welding school. I was going for a high-paying company, but I wasn't ready for high-paying wages yet because of what they expect.
Yeah. What were those weld tests like? What'd you take?
So the first 2 were pretty basic. It's just like any other decent paying companies. It was a combo test on a monster coupon. You have your TIG, root, and hot pass, and then their 7-18 fill and cap. And that one was a breeze. Take in mind, they were timed.
Yeah.
So we had a 2-hour time limit, which is not bad. But coming out of school, that kind of puts a little bit of pressure on
you. You're sweating a little bit.
Yeah. And then another monster coupon, 2-inch heavy wall. I think it was schedule 160, and it was TIG all the way out, and then got that one done. And then we had a 2-inch schedule 10 stainless test as well. And that one, I mean, it's really easy because it's thin wall. So the 2-hour time limit, well, it wasn't a problem there.
Yeah.
Then we had a carbon test as well on a schedule 80 piece of pipe or coupon with the Inconel wire.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
A little different.
A little different. It's it's just purge and carbon. And did that one, and then we also had a test for chrome with the chrome wire.
But that was a fun test, huh?
Mm-hmm. It was all right. At the end of the day, got all that done within barely making it within the time that I had. But it came back as busted. They didn't really get into specifics with it, but I just took it as not really as a big hit, because I know that it was my first time ever taking a test, and getting a long process testing day like that out of the way just makes me feel like the next place I go to, even if it's less paying or not the same process of welding, it'll make it easier for me.
Yeah. After you go through something like that, all the other tests don't seem quite as hard, huh?
Yeah.
Makes things a little bit easier for you.
Yeah.
What are some of the places you've visited while you've been traveling, working?
Yeah. Well, first and foremost, I haven't been out of school for very long.
I was going to say, you haven't graduated, but how long ago?
I think I graduated around the end of October.
Yeah.
Or the beginning of October, around there. And I've been employed by 3 different contractors. I went first to that test that I busted, and then I went down to Reno, Nevada area,
Mm-hmm.
for a company that mainly stick to working in mines.
Yep.
So it was for a company that mined lithium at this particular job. It was new construction, and the test that I took for them was it was a structured test. It was 3G and 4G plate test with backing. So that was their first test, and like I said, with that first testing that I did, it felt like a breeze. That was a side bend test on that structure, uh, coupon or strap,
Mm-hmm.
and then we did a 2-inch Schedule 10 stainless test as well, side bend on a little piece, a little strap, little
I was gonna
strap.
say that's the itty bitty guy.
Yeah, they did side bend for everything, but they started me off pretty good for my first actual like welding job. They started me off at $36 an hour, and after we started at that job, uh, the actual pipe fabrication portion of it, and then I came down here to McPherson at CHS with InServ or Integrated Services, and for a little turnaround that lasted, I think, like a month.
Yeah,
They're
was
paying,
quick.
they're paying pretty good. They're paying 44 and 110, and then double pay. That test was pretty easy too. All it was a Schedule 160 2-inch coupon TIG out.
That's not too bad then.
Mm-mm.
So how do you credit getting some of those jobs? Just by networking, people you know, talking to people?
Yeah, I feel like I've struggled a lot to just be able to go on a company's website and apply there and actually get a call from them.
Mm-hmm.
I'd say it's only like 10% of the time that they actually call the people that apply online.
Yeah.
I've always known that since before I came to school here, that it's not just applying online to a company. It's more or less who you know.
Mm-hmm. Your network's huge, huge.
Mm.
More people you know, more people you get calls from,
Yeah.
getting more jobs in. So what would be some long-term goals you have for yourself?
I want to be able to get the experience to try after the required time that you need to have experience in welding to be able to try to get your inspector's card.
Good old CWI.
Yeah, CWI. Because I've heard it's pretty hard, and you kind of do need to study up to be able to pass it
Mm-hmm.
and pay for it too.
I was gonna say it's a process. You're paying a week off work and paying for hotels and stuff.
Travel
so,
expenses
yeah.
and all to maybe not pass it.
Yeah.
Have to go through the process of doing it over again and more time, more money. Yeah.
What would you say? How would you say Heartland kind of sets themselves apart from other trade schools or something like that you've noticed out in the field?
They've been honest with the students, where they kind of fit in the industry and what it is they need to do or where they need to go to start off to be able to get the experience they need to, actually excel or do better in the industry.
Mm-hmm.
Whether it's starting off at a shop or going to a lesser paying local company and then going from there.
Just kind of getting your foot in the door whenever.
Yeah.
Yep.
People that have, no experience whatsoever. And for me, the industrial industry is night and day difference from being in a shop.
Oh yeah,
It's
absolutely.
a way longer process for like an orientation. It's a longer process for actually being able to do any kind of work, whether it's getting permits or having to have some kind of credentials, whether it's a TWIC or like an OSHA 10, which the school provides before you graduate, and having like the company safety council. That's
Mm-hmm.
usually like a 2 to 3 hour process.
Yeah.
So comparing that in just industrial setting to like a shop or something that's way faster. You just go in and do what you got to do and go home.
Yeah.
Every day.
Everything's not moving as much, not as many moving parts around like in a shop. Everything's pretty much
right there.
Set there. It's there every day. You walk in
you
that
get a little
door.
booth and
Yep.
do what you got to do through the day, whether it's repetitive or different little things, but yeah, it's a whole different ballpark.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, that's all I had for Alex. We're going to go out to the welding booth, get him some welding in. Thank you guys for tuning in. We're starting classes every month.